Hi, my name is Lola Aneke and I welcome you to Speak Dial on Finding Out with Special Needs. Today I'll be sharing with us 7 ways of assessing phonological awareness challenges in struggling readers or dyslexics. Now, most struggling readers struggle with one or more components of reading, which are phonological awareness, letter sound association, which is phonics, vocabulary, reading fluency, and reading comprehension. But today I'll be focusing on the challenges that they experience with phonological awareness. And before you can assess a child based on phonological awareness challenge, you need to understand that there are 7 developmental sequences for phonological awareness. And this phonological awareness sequence are phoneme manipulation 1, phoneme segmentation and blending 2, phoneme identification 3, onset and rhyme 4, syllable segmentation 5, rhyming 6, and sentence segmentation, which is 7. Now, the easy way to assess a child in your classroom or at home as a parent is to be able to answer all of these questions that relate to the developmental sequence of phonological awareness. The first question to answer in assessing a child with phonological awareness challenges is 1. Is a child able to segment sentences? And an easy way to do that is to find simple, easy readers. Most times we are not really able to identify if a child is struggling to read until they're beginning to read from ages 4, 5, and 6 or thereabout. So the thing you want to do is to be able to answer that question. In assessing that child, you want to be able to answer the question, is the child able to segment sentences? Get an easy read, as easy as a fat cat sat on the mat. The way to identify if that child is struggling with sentence segmentation is to have the child point at each word as you read the sentences. So you have one book for yourself, another book for the child, or you display the sentence on your screen or on your smart board in your classroom, or write in a piece of paper for the child, and then you read and observe if the child is able to point at each word. The fat cat sat on the mat. If the child is not able to, then you need to prepare an instructional plan to be able to help move that child forward in the ability to segment sentences. The second question you need to ask yourself is the child able to perform rhyming activities? And the easy way to do that is to have words that rhyme, like fat, sat, cat, and then put another word that does not rhyme, like ran. So you have fat, sat, ran, and cat, and you simply ask the child which of these words do not sound like the rest of the words. Of course, if the child is able to identify that ran is an odd word out, you could also use pictures of those words and have the child tell you the one that does not sound like the rest. If the child is unable to do that, then you need to come out with an instructional plan and strategies to be able to help that child perform rhyming activities. The third question you need to answer in assessing a child who is having challenges with phonological awareness is a child able to segment syllables? Now, what are syllables? Syllables are consonants and vowels, or vowels, consonant, vowels in words. So they are part or whole of the word. Okay, let me give an example. Water has 2 syllables. Again, water has 2 syllables. If the child is not able to identify that water has 2 syllables, that means you need to also come up with an instructional strategy to help the child understand the syllables in words. Okay. Another good example is to use the word caterpillar. That sounds like a big word, but if the child is able to identify caterpillar in the word caterpillar, is able to identify the syllables caterpillar, which are 4 syllables in the word caterpillar, then if the child is not able to do that, then you need to come up with an instructional plan, because the word looks big, but the easy way to be able to read is to be able to segment these syllables, and then it becomes easy to read. Now, the fourth question you need to answer is a child able to break words into onset and rhyme? Now, what are onset and rhyme? Onset is the beginning consonants in the word, or the beginning cluster of consonants in a word, and then rhyme at the remaining vowel, consonants, and vowels in the word. So, for example, we have the word swim, S-W-I-M, swim. Okay, the onset in the word swim will be swi, W-S-W. Okay, let me just use my blocks again. S-wi, E, and then okay, so I have, let me do that real quick. I have S, we, E, and then giving me swim. Now the onset will be swe, and then the rhyme will be im. If the child is not able to do that, then you need to come up with an instructional plan and strategy to help move that child forward. Another simple one is cat, at. You have k, a, and t. The onset will be k, and the a, t will be the rhyme. So ability to manipulate all of those will also help the child to be able to understand onset and rhyme. The fifth question you need to ask yourself is: the child able to identify beginning, middle, and ending sound in a word? Okay, the phonemes, the beginning phoneme, the middle phoneme, and the ending phoneme in a word. So I'll use my building blocks again. K, a, t. The beginning phoneme will be k, the middle phoneme will be a, and the last final phoneme will be t. So if the child is unable to identify the beginning, the middle, and the last phoneme in a word, then you know that you have to come up with an instructional strategy and plan to help that child be able to identify middle, beginning, and ending phonemes in words. Now the sixth question you need to answer is the child able to segment and blend phonemes? So just like the ability to identify the beginning, middle, and last sound in words, you want to be able to check if the child understands that k, a, and t blended together we give cat, and you can also segment it to have k separately, a separately, and then t separately. So the ability to blend and segment each of these sounds will help you understand if the child can segment or blend phonemes. Okay, and then the last question you need to ask yourself and answer in assessing a child with phonological awareness challenge is the child able to identify sounds within word, analyze this sound, and manipulate the sound? So for example, if I have a sound E-T, I'm going to come up with that now, E and T. Is the child able to know that if I have E-T, I can form a word like sit, E-T, and I can take away this and have to give me E-T. Is able to identify the sounds, manipulate the sounds. Okay, you can also have pots, like you have the word p or t. Is the child able to identify that if you take away the o and bring in e, it will give you pit, because you are manipulating the sounds in the letter. You can analyze, and you can do that for fat, cat, pit, and all of that. So these are the ways you can identify the specific challenges the child is having, and the ways you can assess the specific challenges the child is having with phonological awarenesses. Again, recap some of the challenges I mentioned, or the way to assess the child. 1, is the child able to segment sentences? Okay. 2, is the child able to perform rhyming activities? 3, is the child able to segment syllables? 4, is the child able to break words into onset and rhyme? 5, is the child able to identify beginning, middle, and end sounds in words? 6, is the child able to segment and blend phonemes? 7, is the child able to identify sounds in words, analyze and manipulate these sounds? For more on reading challenges and how to teach children with dyslexia, please look out for my new book coming out, and it's called Dyslexia Bible. I have several activities and ways of assessing and identifying challenges in children with reading challenges, and how to help them in the various aspects of reading. I also talked about spelling and writing in that book. This book is a must-have for everyone who care about children with dyslexia and how to teach them. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and invite others to come join us in learning. Look out for some of our trainings also that will be coming out, both free and paid for. Thank you for watching this video, and leave me comments when you use these strategies for children with dyslexia. Until I come your way next time, I remain Lola Aneke. Bye bye.